December 6th, 2018. The day before Super Smash Bros. Ultimate released, and also the day that Joker from Persona 5 was announced as its first DLC fighter. Coming from one of my favorite series that I never thought had a chance of getting into Smash, I was beyond hyped. It's cliche to say, but it was honestly a dream come true for me. I couldn't wait to see how he would play. As time went on, after the initial reveal though, there were some thoughts I wasn't able to ignore at the back of my mind. What if he's boring? What if he doesn't click with me? I'd be devastated if a character that represented some of the games I love most didn't end up being fun to me. Well, on April 17th of the next year, I got the answers to the questions that had been bugging me for so long. I love Joker. I don't think there's a Smash character I enjoy playing as more than him. Out of the dozens of characters in Ultimate, he's one of the very few that I always have fun with when I use him. I easily have the most playtime on him too compared to everyone else on the roster. He embodies everything I've come to enjoy in the many hours I played Smash over the years. I'd rather not turn this video into a massive breakdown of every little thing I like about his design, so we're going to specifically focus on what I like about his gameplay. These are the main points we're going to cover: his style, his flow, his gun, and Arsene. Alright, let's get started.
Smoking sexy style!
So I think it's a pretty safe assumption to say that we can all agree that Joker's moves look cool. There's a clear attention to detail in every frame of his animations. You could randomly pause in the middle of a match and use the camera controls to find all sorts of beautiful shots, cause that's just how photogenic this boy is. But what makes gameplay stylish? To me, the answer is freedom. It's the freedom to find new ways to play your character that are distinctly your own. The only thing you need to be able to do is execute properly, which sounds simple, but it is by no means easy. One mistake and, well, things like that happen. The easiest place to see Joker's style is within his combos. Being able to make the most of a single hit is crucial for the character. Let's use the first hit of his forward air as an example. When it hits a grounded opponent, it launches them into the air. Most of the time, I'd probably be looking to follow up with a drag down up air to give me the best options to finish the combo with, or extend it further with, something like a grab. Sometimes the best follow-up I can get is a second forward air or a back air for stage control, and it can even kill at some higher percents just to make the conversion really simple. Sometimes I hit my opponent while they're airborne with the first hit of forward air, and instead of being sent up, they actually go down into the stage for a tech situation, and I have to react properly in an instant to get a follow-up. Joker has tons of options to choose from when it comes to his playstyle. It's up to the player to figure out which options work the best for them. Say what you want about how good he is, but he's not a character that you can just pick up and expect immediate results with. But he is a character that rewards the time and effort you put into learning him, and he'll keep rewarding you. There's no better feeling than threading together a string you come up with in the heat of the moment. Everything about his kit is built to flow together seamlessly. Speaking of which, Joker can play the game at whatever pace he feels like. He can approach with safe aerials, put on pressure with projectiles from a distance, and reverse momentum completely in his favor with the right read. All of this feels more and more natural as you get better at using the character. The move that I think you can see this the most in is his neutral air. On first glance, the move can seem pretty underwhelming. It's his second slowest aerial behind only his down air, and unlike the terrifying size of his back air, its hitbox is extremely modest in size. It does an average amount of damage and isn't really useful for scoring a kill by itself either. With all of those things, what makes the move so good then? I think it has more utility than nearly all of his other moves. Nearly all of them. So let's say I hit an opponent on stage with neutral air. At early percentages, I get a bunch of different follow-up options. Grab, dash attack, another aerial or tilt, they can all work. It's up to the player to decide how they want to push their advantage from there and what works best for them. And even if the opponent shields the move, you can mix them up by going for a cross-up with it. You can also use neutral air offstage as an edge guarding option. This can gimp some recoveries with the angle it sends you, and even if it doesn't, you're in a perfect position with enough time to close out the stock with a back air after the neutral air hits. It's just one move out of many, but you can apply those same principles to the majority of his moveset. Jab is a quick, disjointed boxing option that can force a tech situation if it hits, or a committal reaction like a roll or attack if it's shielded. Down tilt is an approach option that can low profile projectiles and other moves and set up a juggle situation. Side B is great for stuffing approaches and asserting stage control. He doesn't really have a bad move, and when a character has that going for them, their moves start feeling like tools with specific purposes rather than just a bunch of random attacks. You just gotta put in enough practice with the tools to be able to use them properly. And what better tool does he have to master than... I got a gun. So yeah, the gun gets its own section. This is easily the most versatile move Joker has in his kit. To start, it's not actually a projectile as far as the game is concerned. It's classified as a physical attack, so it can't be reflected or absorbed. This means that you have a safe, long-distance poke option even against characters like Fox or Mr. Game & Watch. Most of the time, I honestly just think of it as a huge disjoint like a sword or something. Getting hit by the gun will usually cause the opponent to enter a flinching animation, meaning that you stop whatever it is they were about to do and gain the upper hand in positioning. They might even get caught off guard and buffer an option that leaves them wide open for a heavier punish. You can even use it as a combo extension if you use it properly. The biggest strength of the gun doesn't even have to do with using it as an attack though. The mobility it gives Joker is incredible. You can use it to dance around your opponent safely, all the while chipping more and more damage into them with your shots. This is what gives him the ability to totally shut down other characters' strategies and make them play his game. Throwing off spacing by weaving in and out, getting out of scary situations with a frame 1 invincible escape option, extending your recovery distance by using the higher airspeed it offers, the foundation of everything that makes Joker so good at the top level of play can be found in this one move. If he didn't have it, I really don't think I'd enjoy playing him as much as I do. Now then, I think it's about time we talked about that giant demon wearing a top hat in the room. Destroy us all! This is the part of Joker that a lot of people dislike the most. They see anything even close to a comeback mechanic and start complaining. You're getting rewarded for losing, they cry. I get the aversion to these types of things, but it's actually possible to design these mechanics well. To me, Arsene isn't so much a comeback mechanic as he is a reward for managing a resource properly. That resource just so happens to be the damage that you take. I get that that sounds like I'm just beautifying the definition of what a comeback mechanic is, so I'll try to explain what I mean. In order to use Arsene, Joker needs to fill up his unique Rebellion gauge. The gauge slowly fills up over time by itself, but it also fills anytime that you take damage. You can also use his down B, Rebel's Guard, to have any incoming damage while exponentially increasing the amount your Rebellion gauge is filled. This makes for a high-risk, high-reward option that can either leave you with a bunch of momentum and a valuable power-up, or with you getting hit by a heavy punish thanks to how laggy Rebel's Guard is. This is what sets apart Arsene from most other similar mechanics. It's something that both you and your opponent are able to take advantage of. Joker becomes way stronger with Arsene, there's no denying that. His moves are more powerful and bigger while still retaining their speed. His projectiles become even better than they already are. Opponents can just die if you touch them once, but there's a flip side to it as well. Arsene isn't something that you can hang on to for an indefinite amount of time like Sephiroth's Wing or Lucario's Aura. While the Rebellion gauge will fill up faster by taking damage without Arsene, it also depletes much faster by taking damage with Arsene active. This makes it so a good Joker player will need to make split-second decisions on what damage is worth taking and capitalizing the limited amount of time they can use Arsene, and a good player going against Joker will be able to find the openings they need to minimize the time he has with Arsene. Both players can make use of how important the mechanic is to Joker in their game plans. This mutual interaction is what makes it so interesting and fun to me. I could probably go on and on about the things I love about Joker's kit forever. I wouldn't be surprised if I could make a video just talking about his back air. That's how much I enjoyed this character. But when it comes down to it, these are just the things that I like. The things that I've talked about are just opinions. You might disagree with everything I've said, and that's perfectly reasonable if you do. Like, I really just called Arsene a well-designed mechanic, so I have no idea where my credibility goes from here. There are countless ways you can approach how you play Smash. Joker just happens to be the character that I can play in the way that fits me most. So just like in the last video, I want to leave y'all with a challenge. If you play Smash, whether it be just casually or competitively, I'd like for you to try to come up with, let's say, 3 things, yeah. 3 things you really like about how your character, or characters, if you're like me, play, then let me know down in the comments. I really enjoy talking theory like this, and I'd love to see everyone's thoughts. But for now, I think that's going to be a wrap on this video. Hopefully we'll get to see you in the next one. Thanks again so much for watching.